Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all well. So as promised, I'm doing my second trimester update. So if you watched my last video, you'll know why I didn't kind of continue with my weekly updates, and I gave you a bit of an insight to some of the things that haven't really gone as well during this pregnancy, so I don't want to dwell on that too much. But I'm now 28 weeks pregnant and just gone into my third trimester, so obviously I can talk to you about the whole second trimester in full. So it's crazy to think that the second trimester actually started at sort of 12-13 weeks. That seems like so long ago now, but it also doesn't, because since 12 weeks this pregnancy has gone so fast. I cannot believe I am 28 weeks pregnant, and I feel like once I get into the 30s, that's when it gets scary and real. The last 12-13 weeks have been rather eventful, and they've not been the easiest. I don't want to like make this video really kind of like downbeat or anything, but I've just been thinking about it a lot, and I think because my pregnancy with Archie was so easy, like really when I look back, the pregnancy was like a walk in the park. Anything going wrong in this one kind of feels like such a big deal, when I know that probably so many women have to go through so much more than I have already. So I can't complain too much, but yeah, I thought I would just talk to you about some of the symptoms that I've had in the second trimester, and just generally how it's been for me. So the baby has gone from the size of a lime at 12 weeks to the size of an aubergine at 28 weeks, which is crazy. We recently had a 28-week scan, which was just on Friday, because I have to have growth scans. They thought that maybe the baby might be quite small because Archie was quite small, but this baby is actually measuring quite big. So at exactly 28 weeks when I had that scan, the baby weighed 2 pounds 11 ounces, which is actually about the size a 30-week-old baby would normally be. So it's a little bit scary to think that this baby is maybe on the bigger side, but that could really even out. I mean, when you think about pounds and ounces, they're so small. Who knows what size this baby's going to be, but I do think it will be bigger than Archie. That's just my guess right now. We also took Archie to that scan, and he said the baby looked like Spider-Man, because I don't know if you've had a scan before, then you might know this, but when they show you the heart valves, they show the blood going in and out of the arteries and things like that, and they show it in red and blue. So he saw that along with the baby in the sort of the black and white ultrasoundy picture, and he said it looked like Spider-Man, so that was quite funny. This is what everyone's been asking me, like, what does Archie think? Is he excited? He's 2.5, he was actually 2.5 yesterday, and he's not really that bothered. Like, he's not the kind of child that will constantly be asking me questions or kissing my belly, or, you know, sometimes when I try and show him the baby bump, he actually like pulls my top back down. It's kind of all about Archie right now, so that's a little bit worrying. So if anyone has any advice for how to make it a bit easier on a toddler, I did actually get some books which I'll quickly show you. So I got this one, which is my favourite. I had a quick read of them all last night. He hasn't seen them yet. So this one is called There's a House Inside My Mummy, which is really nice. This one is Topsy and Tim, the New Baby, and also Waiting for Baby, which I think might be a bit young for him. It's just kind of like one sentence per page, but I think they will all be good little bedtime stories to get him a little bit more interested in the idea. And I think he's going to come to the midwife appointment with me tomorrow, because he hasn't been to one, and I just think the more I involve him now, the more he'll kind of understand. But the thing he's looking forward to most is that the baby's going to be bringing him a present when he or she arrives, and he would like the lookout from Paw Patrol, so we'll see what happens there. So the next thing I just wanted to quickly mention is the gender. Obviously lots of people have been asking, which is fine, it doesn't bother me or Ricky at all. We have had a couple of like kind of rude comments saying that we haven't addressed it because we're, you know, actually it was one comment, but that we're trying to like get attention or something, and that's really not the case at all. We've tried to sit down a couple of times I think of an interesting way to do it, but I don't know. I think we're waiting for something to arrive which we kind of want to use to do the reveal, but that's really the only thing we're waiting for, and once we have that we will just kind of literally make a quick video showing you, but it's not to kind of keep anyone in suspense or anything like that. I just don't think it's as big of a deal this time around. I think that's what it is really, but I understand that people do want to know, so as soon as possible we will make a video. Like, I'm not going to keep it a secret till the baby's here, because we do know, and it's so hard not to keep saying he or she. I'll go through some of my symptoms that I've had during the second trimester. So apart from the obvious like negative things which I spoke about in my last pregnancy update at 25 weeks, you can watch that one if you haven't seen it and you don't know what I'm talking about. The more normal symptoms have been sort of like back pain, pelvic pain. It is quite hard for me to just walk for quite a long time now. The bump is getting quite big and it feels really heavy, and I just feel huge, even though most people are still like, just like last time, saying that I'm not at all, but I obviously feel it, and I am bigger than I was with Archie. I haven't really had any sickness. I've got away with that really easily again, and no real cravings that I've noticed or food aversions. Like, I just feel like I'm kind of eating as I normally would. I really love chocolate and sweets at the moment, which I think in the first trimester I was eating a lot more healthily, and I really wanted sort of vegetables and fruit, and I remember saying apples was something that I was really loving, and now I'm just kind of like, give me all the chocolate that you can get me, and that's what I was like with Archie pretty much the whole way through. Maybe like switched around. I think in the beginning I was like that, and then I really loved orange juice, but I don't know, like, I don't feel like I have like a real craving, but I have noticed the last week or so that some smells are making me feel a bit sick, which is weird because you wouldn't have thought that would happen later on in pregnancy. But like, for example, I was going to make some rice cakes with cream cheese and smoked salmon on, and I opened the smoked salmon and I actually had to throw it away because it smelt bad. So it could have been that I've got like a really heightened sense of smell at the moment, and I could tell that it was bad, even though it was like a week off being out of date or something. I don't know, but though, just little things like that I had to just know. That was horrible. So I don't know if it's kind of kicking in now, but generally I don't have that many cravings. I just really like chocolate. Sleeping has become extremely uncomfortable. I always sleep on my tummy, which obviously I can't do anymore, and I hate sleeping on my side, and I can't sleep on my back because if you've ever had a baby bump, you'll know that puts like loads of pressure on your chest, and you just feel like it's too much, and you shouldn't actually sleep like that anyway, because it like squashes your veins and stuff. Like, that's so technical, isn't it? But yeah, it squashes your veins and stuff. So you're meant to really sleep on your left if you can, because that helps the blood pump through your body and get your baby as best as possible, but either side, whichever way you're comfortable. So I just kind of sleep like with my legs on a pillow and like obviously one behind my head, and that's what I find most comfortable. If there's like a pillow just under my bump. I haven't got any pregnancy pillows or anything like that this time so far, because that seems to be working. But yeah, sleep, I've had a few kind of sleepless nights, which don't remember really having with Archie. One thing I do remember having with Archie though is really weird dreams. I don't remember what any of them are, but wow, this time they are getting weird and intense, and oh, they're awful. Like, they wake me up. Some have been like too messed up to even like talk about. They're like terrifying, the kind of dreams that disturb you for like a week afterwards. But then there have been other ones about clowns, and I hate clowns. And a couple of nights ago I had a dream that I peeled my face off, like I was peeling it all off. Which bizarrely was one of the more normal dreams that I've had, so that tells you how weird they've been. But it's such a common pregnancy thing, and I expect them to just get weirder. I've had one dream about the baby so far, and it was that the baby was like a giant baby, so that was quite scary too. I remember last time, the second trimester, being like this really great time where I was really energised. Like I've mentioned in previous updates, we were moving house, like I think it was even on 20 weeks on the day we moved house, and like I say, before that I was like getting everything ready to move, and it's all of the nesting stuff which I do anyway. I love redecorating or moving house or anything like that, but I think that just really like kept me going, and I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to decorate the office, which was my last video. I think that's going to be my last video anyway, and it just like gives me something to do, and when I'm focusing on something like that I have a lot more energy, but I very quickly have become quite tired again, even though I'm just going into the third trimester. So I don't really feel like I've had that much of an amazing sort of, you know, that middle time where you're really energised, want to get everything done. I've just kind of felt a bit bleh, if I'm completely honest. But it's so much better than the first trimester. Like that was like being a zombie. Now I just feel like I want to sleep, go to bed earlier, even though I'm not. And I think it's just having a toddler makes it more difficult. It's just, you can't really relax when you want to, because you already have a little person to look after and another one that you're constantly carrying around, and they're getting bigger every day. So it's quite hard, but like I said, you know, lots of women go through so much worse, so I feel really bad complaining. I feel like there's so many more symptoms that I probably should mention, but I know this video is already so long, I've just rambled on again. So what I just wanted to quickly show you before I go, and before I show you my bump, we had a 3D scan. You may have seen one of the pictures on Twitter. We didn't have one with Archie, and I really wanted one this time, and I think it was even more exciting because we already have a child to kind of compare this one to. Like, I don't mean compare, but I was really curious to see what they looked like, because I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I probably have, but before Archie was born I used to dream about him, and he looked exactly like the baby that I dreamed of when he was born. Like exactly. It was really weird. So I found it quite difficult this time to think, what's this baby going to look like? I don't really have a picture of them in my head, because obviously they're going to look different, but will they be similar to Archie? And it was really weird when we had the 3D scan, because I will hold this up closer, but the baby looks so much like Archie, and I know it's not fully grown yet, and they change, and I don't even know if it will come out like looking like this, because obviously it's a 3D scan, there's only so much you can see as opposed to a baby there in real life. But I asked the sonographer, I was like, do these all just kind of look the same, like a generic baby? And she was like, no, not at all, they all look completely different, and when you compare it to your baby when they're here, they look exactly like them, obviously, because it is them. It's the closest you can get. This is, did I say this is a 4D? And yeah, there were certain angles where I was like, that's Archie. It's so bizarre. So I will hold some of these pictures up closer. There's one where the baby's sucking their thumb, and it was just really special. We went on Valentine's Day. It's just made me so excited to meet them, because this feels like the closest I've ever been to meeting one of our babies without them actually being born. So that was pretty special. If you have any questions, please leave them below, because I'm sure I've missed so much stuff out that's relevant and that I should have mentioned. And I will do a bump shot. I'm going to go and do that now, and then I'll say goodbye afterwards, because I never know which way around to do it. So as you can see, there is a bit of a difference from last time. It has really grown a lot, and I've had an outie for what feels like forever, and I don't think I even had one at this point before, so yeah, that kind of annoys me, but it's very much out. It's like an actual button. So yes, this is 28 weeks. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you in my next video.